Sitting comfortably. This is a energy and focus class, so one that you can come to anytime you need a bit of invigoration and also to cultivate a sense of clarity of mind and confidence coming from clean sattvic energy where you feel very grounded in yourself, your mind feels clear, and you're able to think, and make better decisions. Making yourself comfortable, grounding down through your legs and hips, and placing your hands on your lap or resting the backs of your hands on your knees. And closing down at the eyes or having them half closed. And just starting to become aware of the sounds around you, some close by and some further away. Noticing the air temperature and the feeling of your clothes resting on your body. And begin to relax into your legs and hips. Relax your belly and chest. Relax your shoulders, your arms, wrists, and hands. And taking a gentle inhale as you lift through your spine, lifting into the crown of your head. And exhaling, softening through the shoulders, maintaining that lift in your spine. And softening into your face. And bringing your awareness to your breath. Observing its natural flow in and out of your nose. And gradually deepening your breath, drawing it in through your nose and down into the lower regions of your lungs. Exhaling completely, drawing in through your belly. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. And taking one more breath in this way. Exhale. Now we'll move into a simple meditation technique called Goranga breathing. So we'll say the sound Goranga, which means the golden one, for the entire length of our exhalation. And we'll practice it together. So we'll exhale completely, emptying out our lungs. Take a nice deep inhale. And now say the sound Goranga. And again, inhale. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Two more times. Inhale. Goranga. One last time. Inhale. Goranga. And returning to your regular breathing pattern, allowing the effects of the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. Opening your eyes and coming over onto your knees. Sitting back on your heels, walking your hands forward, reaching out into your fingertips as you lengthen through your spine, gently encouraging your hips down as you reach your fingertips forward. Maybe your forehead rests on the floor. Good. And walking your hands over to the left, reaching out into your right fingertips. And walk your hands back to center, over to the other side, reaching out into your left fingertips. Good. And come back to center. Now, coming up through a very brief downward dog just to warm up through the backs of our legs and shoulders. So, hands forward and coming up onto your feet with your hips lifted and bending through your knees, alternating from side to side, lifting and lowering your heels. And just have a look at your hands. Check your fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. Press the floor away. And if there's any other downward dog warm ups that you like to practice, like maybe bringing the belly in toward the thighs, or even taking the legs up and rolling through the hips, just taking a couple more breaths here to warm up the joints in your body, stretch out a bit. Good. And from here, inhaling, raise your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot forward, dropping your back knee to the floor, flattening out through your back foot, and taking your hands to your front knee. Softening down into your hips. Inhaling, raising your arms up. So first stage is to just open the arms out to shoulder height and turn to look to the right. So bringing a bit of rotation through your upper body. Keep softening down into your hips. If you feel you can go further, you can lower your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and just get that nice firm position where you're pressing your elbow and your knee against each other. And then bring the palms together, pressing the palms together and turning to look over your right shoulder. Nice and open through the chest. Good. One more breath here. And slowly release. Rotate back to center, hands to the floor. Step straight back into downward dog. Take a breath. Inhaling, raise your left leg up this time, taking your foot forward, dropping your back knee to the floor and flatten out through your back foot. Hands to your front knee, softening into your hips. Raising your arms up, inhale. And exhale, lowering your arms to shoulder height, turning to look to the left. Staying here or further still, bringing your right elbow to the outside of the left knee, making that nice connection with the knee and the elbow working against each other. Pressing your palms together and turning to look over your shoulder. So a nice twist through the belly. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Return to center. And lower your hands to the floor. Stepping back into downward dog, take a breath. And walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, sliding your hands up your shins, look forward. Exhale, folding forward, taking a moment here. If you need to, softly bending through your knees, maybe catching the toes and drawing your upper body in toward your legs. One more breath. And bending through your knees, slowly roll up, coming up to stand. Standing at the top of your mat in mountain pose, bringing your palms together in prayer position, shoulders down away from your ears, getting ready for 2 rounds of sun salutations. Inhale, reaching up, lengthening. Exhale, folding forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back and plank. And lower down. Inhale, just going into a baby cobra this early on in our practice. Exhale, lower down, knees to the floor, tuck your toes, lifting back into downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. Reaching into your hips and lengthening down into your heels, bending through the knees if needed. And on your next inhale, looking between your hands and jumping or stepping your feet forward. Coming straight into a flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into and lower down. Inhaling up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Taking 3 cycles of your breath. Good. Looking between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And having your block handy, we're going to move through a triangle series now. So stepping your right foot back to begin. I'll switch sides. So going, what did I do? Step right foot back, but I want to face you. So turning the right toes out to point and left toes in, taking your arms out at shoulder height and feeling the top of the thigh bone lift and draw up into your hip as you slide your hips over to the left, reaching toward the right, lowering your hand down toward your ankle and raising the left arm up. Good. Placing your gaze wherever it feels comfortable. So if you have any strain through your neck, just looking down at your foot, otherwise turning your head up towards the sky, the ceiling, and inhaling. Soft bend through the front knee, drawing in through your navel, coming all the way up to stand, turning the right toes in and the left toes out. Firming through your thighs, inhale, lift and lengthen, exhale, folding over your left leg, and placing your hand on your ankle or a block, taking the right arm up, turning to look up. And notice how if you press down against the floor, your ankle or block, that point of contact, the gentle pressing down allows you to open and spiral through that lower rib, opening up through the chest. Inhaling, preparing to come up, soft bend through the front knee, coming all the way up to stand. Now we're going to go into a revolved triangle. So I like to use a block for this pose. I find it just makes it a little bit more accessible. It's quite an intensive rotation. So just going into it in stages, you're going to swivel both feet around. So right foot facing toward the top of your mat, left foot follows around. If you have a little trouble with balance, just separating your feet so they're at least hip distance apart. Nice and firm through your legs. I'm going to hold my block in my left hand, drawing in through the navel, raising your arms up. So doing similar to what we did in the beginning of our practice, opening your arms out to the side, and then either taking the block to the inside of the foot for the gentle version or to the outside of your foot for the full version. And from here, really trying to press down into your lower hand so that you can inhale, lift and rotate, turning to look to the right. Tilting your pelvis forward so you're nice and long through the spine, long through the backs of your legs. And getting ready to slowly release. Cartwheeling the arms up. Swiveling the feet right around to the left side now. So your left foot facing toward the end of the mat. Right foot turned around as well. Holding the block in the left hand this time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning to look to the left. Lengthen, lowering your hand down to the floor or to the block. And pressing down so that you can inhale, lift and rotate. And from here, tilting your pelvis forward, lengthening down into your feet, firm through your thighs, and turning to look up toward your top fingertips. One more breath here. And inhale. Coming all the way back around to face the front of your mat. Beautiful. Step both feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath and a little rest. And then inhaling, raising your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. And lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. And just take one full breath here. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up. And exhale, step your foot forward. Spin your back foot down at about a 45-degree angle. And then inhale, rise up, stacking your shoulders above your hips and your knee above your ankle. Couple of breaths here. Nice and strong through this back leg. Then exhale, clasping your hands together behind you and folding forward. Bowing over your front thigh, taking your arms up and over. So if that feels too strong, just coming back to a standing shoulder stretch in Warrior One. And inhale, coming up. Hands come forward, exhale. Hands to the floor, let's flow to the other side. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, raising the left leg. Exhale, stepping your foot forward. Spin that back foot down at 45 degrees. Nice, strong foundation through your feet, drawing that energy up your legs, settling down into your hips. So your weight is distributed evenly. And from there, raising your arms up. Good, nice. And on your next exhale, lower your hands, your arms, clasping your hands together, rolling your shoulder blades back in toward each other and folding forward over your front leg, taking your arms up and over, but still nice and strong through your legs. And inhale, coming back up to stand. And release. Hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. And exhale, time for a rest. Come back to sit on your heels, forehead to the floor, coming to rest in child's pose. And taking a moment to notice all that beautiful circulation happening. Noticing energy flow, blood flow. Taking one more breath here. And then taking your hands forward. Coming up very briefly through downward dog, stretching it out. And slide your right knee forward. Come to sit on your heel to begin. Taking it nice and easy and just gradually moving into the pose. Moving into pigeon now by taking your right foot out in front of your left hip. The more snug in toward your hip, the less intense it'll be. The more you move it out, the more intense the stretch will be on your hip. So getting into position, sitting up nice and tall and lengthening through your spine. Just trying to keep that left hip rolling down as you walk your hands forward. And fold forward over your front leg, and then just try to relax and let go. And if you can walk your hands all the way out, feel free to completely lay forward. And in this position, it's really nice to create that two-way experience of reaching forward into your fingertips and reaching back into your toes, rolling down through that left hip and trying to just create a whole lot of relaxation and surrender through the hips, through the belly, letting go of any resistance that you might be holding on to. One more breath here. And begin to make your way back up, coming onto your forearms and then your hands. And slowly sliding that leg back and lifting back into downward dog. One more breath here. And then carefully lower your knees to the floor and slide your left knee forward, sitting on your heel first, and then dialing that left heel out in front of the right hip and carefully making your way into pigeon pose and just listening to your body, doing it nice and slow and gradual. So you can tune in to any discomfort. And once you've found that sweet spot, found your little edge where you're getting a nice stretch, but not pushing yourself too far, then folding forward. Taking a couple of breaths on your forearms, and then if you can go deeper into the pose, taking your arms out, stretched completely. So when you're ready, making your way into a fully outstretched pigeon, finding that simultaneous lengthening into the fingertips, lengthening into the toes again. Rolling the right hip down and surrender. Soften, let go, exhale. One more breath here. Then begin to make your way up out of the pose, coming back onto your forearms, and then back to your hands, tucking your back toes under and sliding that back knee, stretching out through your legs. Take a little downward dog here just to stretch out. You can even try walking your feet out as wide as your mat in downward dog and press back. It's really nice, slightly different experience. Lifting into your hips, lengthening down into your heels. And bringing your knees to the floor, crossing your ankles and coming to sit. Coming into butterfly pose. Last couple of poses before we come down to relax. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out nice and wide, and folding forward, dropping your elbows down to the insides of your legs and just gently encouraging your knees down toward the floor. Dropping into your breath. One more breath here. And slowly come up. And from here, we're going to go option to come into easy sitting pose with just legs crossed, turning your palms up and take some deep breaths. Or if you're familiar with lotus pose, option to go into lotus. So I don't practice this very often in my classes, but it's a really, really nice pose to practice. And even if you're just working on it, coming even progressing into it or halfway into it is completely fine and still really beneficial. So option to just sit with the ankles crossed and your foot on top of your lower leg. And it really helps to bring the spine into nice alignment, sitting up nice and tall and breathing. Other option is to go into half lotus. So raising the foot up and bringing the foot in toward the hip, laying the top of the foot down on the top of the thigh, And you'll notice that that right thigh just sits nicely down. So maybe staying here in half lotus, or if you have capacity, then raising the other foot on top of the thigh. Just taking a few breaths here. No punishing any of your joints, just if it feels possible. And tuning into your breath, sitting up nice and tall. Good. And you can either stay here, you don't have to change sides, but some people like to feel the experience in both sides of their hips equally. So then we'll take the other foot to top of the thigh and switch. And sitting up nice and tall again, just for a few more breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly unraveling and finding your way down onto your back, hugging your knees into your chest, and make some small circles with your knees. And back in the opposite direction. And just for a very gentle twist, because we've done quite some strong twists tonight, bring both feet to the floor and just allow your knees to move from side to side, softening and releasing through your lower back. Good. Come back to center. And then make yourself comfortable for Shavasana. Legs out, arms out to your sides, palms up. Feel free to use any props that make you feel more comfortable. And maybe even taking something over your face to block out the light. And noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. Noticing if you're feeling maybe a little bit more energized, but simultaneously grounded and calm. Noticing if your energy feels a little bit more balanced, perhaps flowing with more ease. Now just simply relaxing into your body, feeling all the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor getting heavier and heavier. And feeling the entire front of your body as if it's getting lighter and lighter. I'm staying here, just resting for another few more breaths. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just rest. Now slowly starting to wake up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes. Gently rock your head from side to side. Stretching out into your limbs. And rolling over onto your side. And pressing yourself up. And sitting in a seated position. And we'll finish up with 5 rounds of the Goranga mantra, just like we did in the beginning of our practice. So, this is a really simple form of meditation. So, as we say the sound Goranga, it has really beautiful purifying effects and spiritual benefits. It's very nourishing for us on a spiritual level. So as you say the sound, just drawing the sound in through your ears, into your mind, and down into your heart. And yeah, really embracing it and meditating upon the sound. So let's exhale completely and take a deep breath in and say the sound. Gora. Inhale. Gora. Inhale. Gora. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Gora. And last time. Inhale. Gora. And relax into your regular breathing pattern. Bringing our palms together in prayer position. Bowing our heads to offer our respects to the Supreme. And bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. Namaste.